I've heard you say that, and I don't think many people disagree with you, that the law, the way that it's currently written, should just be implemented, and let's see how it goes. But we know that's not happening, and in the meantime, there are people who are suffering because of it, because, the best analogy I can give you is it's like kind of playing a football game, and you're playing, and then here, I'll give you a different analogy. Willie Nelson had a golf course, Willie Nelson, the country singer. And he had a golf course. And he went on the first hole with a guest. And the guy said, it's like a fairly easy hole. It's about 400 yards. The guest, gets the ball in the hole in 4. What's that?
400 yards is not a fairly easy hole. Wow.
Neil's a 2 handicap, so you can...
No. Guy gets the guest gets the ball in the hole in 4 strokes, and Willie Nelson's out there chopping away like he's trying to take down some corn stalks. He's left and right, and dirt coming up and sand coming up, and he's all over the place. Gets the ball in the hole like 30 strokes, and so the guest says, how'd you do on that hole, Willie? He says, I birdied it. He said, what do you mean you birdied it? He said, well, I own the hole, so I decide what par is. So today, par is 31, and I got hit in 30. So the point is that as a lawyer defending medical marijuana cases, we feel like the ball is constantly moving. We never know, where the ball is, where the line of scrimmage is.
Right.
We line up, we got our guys, we're like, okay, doctor, line up on the left over there. Patient, you're on the right. Okay, I got this guy in the back of me. I got this guy over here. We're all lined up on the 5-yard line. And then when the whistle blows, someone says, wait a minute, you're offsides.
Right.
When you were offsides, because the rules are changing.
Or you're here today. Oh, we changed it to tomorrow.
Right.
Or something like that.
Right. And I think the point that you're making, which is, I would love to see the law implemented the way that it was. I'd love to see us walk into court and even playing field. I don't believe that there's a single prosecutor that can hold a candle talent-wise or determination-wise to the criminal defense lawyers that I know and that I work with, including guys like you, Mike. I just in terms of the belief and the zeal and the effort, one of the reasons why I quit being a prosecutor is because I looked at all the criminal defense lawyers that I knew, and they were so righteous. It was just decent guys. And I thought, these aren't righteous guys.
They only win when they cheat, the prosecutors.
So, don't say that.
I won't say always, but there are some cases where people are, rightfully convicted, but some of the stuff, though,
crimes. Some people
some of the stuff is not. Some of the stuff is not right. Listen, when you're when you're a patient, I'll give you. Compare 2 cases: the guy that has 700 plants and 100 pounds of marijuana and a medical marijuana card, versus the person that went to the doctor, paid their money, got a certification, and they're growing. They've got 12 decent-sized plants and 4 clones, and you cannot compare those 2 cases. But the law treats them the same. That's the problem that we're having. And so, in part, to address the doctor-patient relationship, because we know that patients are now being jeopardized. Patients are being hurt because a judge who knows nothing about the practice of medicine, and many don't even know about the practice of law, looks at the doctor-patient relationship and says, oh, that wasn't sufficient. You have to realize that many of these judges have never actually stood in court next to a person and said, I, John Smith, represent so-and-so. They've never done that. They've never known what it's like to actually sit in an office and have to hand Kleenex to a client who's, crying over their lot in life. They never had to get a call from a client who was near suicide because they just can't believe that they can't live with the stress of a criminal case. To most of these judges, these cases are conveyor belt cases. You know that they invented something called, have you ever heard of case flow management? You ever heard that term before?
Yeah.
Like, what's case flow management?
It's the administrative system by which the judges have to report on.
Yeah, isn't that a fucking shanda, which is Yiddish for a shame?
Not only that, I knew one of the people that
management.
But this is how it worked. I knew a guy that helped implement it in Wayne County years ago. And he said, you should hear the way the court administrators talk to the judges. They talk to them like children. They're like, go to your court, get on the bench, put your robe on, and dispose of cases. Come on, quit playing around. You know, like it's an administrative thing. Like
so
it's
in the midst of all this, so in the midst of all this, we've got the legal system, which is barely adequate to handle complex legal problems and barely able to handle cases that involve medical angles like malpractice cases, personal injury cases that involve serious injuries. We've got judges who are deciding what is a serious, what's the phrase in a personal injury case? Serious impairment or of a body function. Right. So we have judges who've never presided over, who are not people, who know nothing about the practice of law, who answer nothing about the practice of medicine, who are deciding these issues in civil cases. And here we now all of a sudden interject in all this medical marijuana cases where we have to have them, again, look into the doctor-patient relationship. And I think it's absurd. So while that's my principal belief, I think that since we know what's happening, we can advise patients on how to deal with things, which is, we can tell them. I have clients, and you tell them, go get every medical record you ever had. When we're in court, I need to be able to go to the judge and make a case that you have a history of this medical condition. That's not the way it should be, but that's the way it is.
Right. That's where we agree. I agree on everything. The other thing is, that's the thing. It's just all that matters is what it looks like in court. That's all I want to see. I want to see paper. When you go to court to search your injuries and claim monetary damages in an auto accident case or what have you, by sitting in the witness stand and saying my back hurts is not going to get you anything. If you have medical records to substantiate the amount of time you went to the doctor, the amount of times you went to rehabilitation, the amount of times you showed up and took the time to go to the doctor to verify.
Listen, Mike, we haven't even gotten to the point where, I thank goodness we haven't, where police officers are going to go out and start to follow our clients around. Yeah. If you have a client who claims they have a...
Well, listen, before we get into that, Neil, we do have, and I want you to stick around for this if you can. We have a guy, Brent from Iron Labs, who we've been doing a series on testing of cannabis. One of the directions I think the medical cannabis community is going to be moving, and obviously is the testing. And we've been doing a series of, what are we looking for? What are the things that one would even contemplate? What's good? What's bad? What's testing? What are you looking for? So, how have we been trying to...
I love you. My boys just got home from wrestling, and they both came in with medals around their neck, and I waved them off.
Right. Yay!
I waved them off because I wanted to chat with you. Right, they're like the only two. Remember this. You heard it here first in Green Cheese Radio. There are two Jewish boys that are wrestling, and they wrestle for the Birmingham Warriors, which is really out of Brother Rice. So my father probably is spitting blood right now, thinking about how his two Jewish grandsons are wrestling for the equivalent of the Brother Rice Warriors. So
beautiful thing.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations. Have some good family time, Neil.
So listen, I really appreciate the chance to come on the show. And Mike, I know that you don't need me to say this, but I know everybody that is a member of the community certainly has to acknowledge and appreciate your hard work and commitment towards patients. And anytime you have a case, and I'm proud to say that you and I talk about cases together, and that I certainly have turned to you for ideas, and I hope you do the same with me. And I just say that if I had to line up in battle with somebody in shoulder to shoulder, I got no qualms with being in a foxhole with you, bro. So I appreciate the chance to talk to you.
Love you, brother. Seriously, it's great having you. It's not even fair because we really only just tap the tip of the iceberg here, and there's so much. But we'll get you back next week. We'll get back into it. Should be, love to have your input, and thanks for all you do. You're
all right, man. I appreciate it. So,
all right,
guys, have a good show. Have a good night.
All right, you too, my friend. Take care.
Okay, man.
Thanks for
Bye.
calling in.